Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of the Health Tech Health Check series. We know our customers are incredibly busy people, which is why we're calling this a micro-learning session. We're committed to providing you as much learning as possible in 30 minutes or less. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started. My name is Brock Fawcett, and I'm the customer marketing manager here at Vasion, the visionary company that makes technologies like Printer Logic possible. I'm excited to be your moderator once again for the Health Tech Health Check series. And as the title suggests, we have geared the series toward customers in the healthcare sector. But even if you're joining us from another industry or profession, whether you're a current customer or whether you're a partner, we trust that you're going to find a lot of value in today's session. Now, in case you missed the first 3 episodes of the series, don't fret. You can watch them on demand. Simply scan the QR codes to register. In episode 1, you'll learn how to optimize out-of-the-box printer logic features and functions. In episode 2, you'll learn about advanced security capabilities. And in episode 3, you'll learn how Vasion is evolving everyday output management into output automation using rules and routing and other print orchestration solutions. Today, however, we are going to be demonstrating just a few ways Vasion can support you in automating various healthcare processes while keeping sensitive information safe and secure. We'll also be sharing a powerful customer story from our friends at Caregiver, and we'll end with a Q&A session. So don't hesitate to enter your questions using the Q&A function, and we'll be sure to address all that we can later in the program. But before we get started, we're going to show you a brief video about Vasion's Executive Briefing Center, where we invite you to join our executive leaders for a deeper dive into how our orchestrated automation tools can accelerate your organization's digital transformation. So let me go ahead and press play.
Hello, and welcome to Vasion's headquarters in beautiful St. George, Utah. My name's Kent Besaw. I'm the Vice President of Customer Success here at Vasion, and looking forward to showing you around our office and Executive Business Center. This is our Executive Briefing Center, or EBC. This is where your leaders can sit face-to-face with our executives and talk through the partnership and plan for the future. Every EBC visit starts with a Voice of the Customer program, where we hear about what's going well and ways that we might partner better together going forward. We also spend time going over our roadmap, talking about what we're working on, how that might align with your needs and your vision of the future. And we, of course, unveil more of our vision and strategy moving forward. If you would be interested in joining us at our EBC, please reach out to your CSM, account executive, or visit our website for more details. I would love to see you here in St. George in the near future.
All right.
Hello,
Awesome. So joining us today is our new movie star, Kent Besaw, who's VP of Customer Success, and our tech expert, Darian Nielsen, who manages solution engineering for Vasion. So you guys go ahead and take it away.
Sounds great. Thanks so much, Brock. I'm a cold recovered and a haircut different from that video, but yeah, welcome. And I will reiterate, we hope to see any number of you at our headquarters in the near future. Today, I want to talk a little bit about our automation platform and what we're looking at. At Vasion, we have a goal of making digital transformation attainable for everyone. And as we do that, you've partnered with us through this series and seen ways that we've done that with print automation. We started on the print automation journey all the way back in 2012. We talked about that on episode 1. Nicole and Gabby did a great job deep diving on that. As we got into 2018, we rolled down our advanced security with our secure release, our ability to print off network, and we'll continue to innovate in that space. And we talked a lot about that with Kevin and Kayla on episode 2. Episode 3, with Ken, we jumped into our output automation piece, and we talked a little bit about that and the work that we've put in there. Along the way, with our advanced security, we really learned a lot about utilizing the CPAs, building out a mobile app, and all of that led to a lot of ability to do things like capture and to work through with documents. the output automation piece started to really go deep into the rules and routing. And as we brought that together, along with an acquisition of a company called MaxVault, we head down a path of really working at what we would call document automation. Traditionally, you might call this ECM or workflow automations. And as we look at the Vasion automation platform, what we have available today is a strong feature set. It starts with capture, whether that's printing or scanning, utilizing a phone, a device. We integrate that with OCR, ICR. We have the ability to text highlight and redact. That also then moves into workflow and automation. So anytime you have a scan or a capture, you're always looking at, where is it going? Where has it come from? What are we trying to accomplish? And we've built out a very easy to use workflow automation process with drag and drop functionality and the ability to customize a lot of those fields. I kind of call that the turbo-taxing of forms, right? Asking simple and easy questions to then pre-populate PDFs or the ability to fill in those PDFs themselves. All of this is layered on top of a content management strategy where we have storage, but we also integrate with third-party cloud storages and allow you to scan across multiple cloud storage providers. And that's really a powerful way to manage your content. Of course, all of the forms I talked about, our ability to make these forms very easy and fill those in single multi-page, looking at that. And of course, whenever you talk about these workflows and these automations, a lot of what you're going to be focusing on is approval processes. And so we've built out the ability to have certified signatures, bulk send, all kinds of approval process. I want to spend a couple of minutes today allowing Darian to walk you through a sample use case. This would be tied to a medical records request and how we might automate that. Of course, there's a lot more in the healthcare space that we can automate and workflows we can accomplish. But here's an example of one. Darian, if you want to go ahead and take over for a minute.
Absolutely. Thanks for that, Kent. And yeah, this process we've actually seen quite a bit, and everyone's on a digital transformation journey. And as Kent mentioned, part of our goal here at Vasion is to assist in making that transformation attainable to everyone. Now, where everyone's at a different place in that journey, we're finding, especially in the healthcare space, many will take a form just like this, and instead of handing that out physically in an office, now they've put that as a PDF online that then requires you as the patient to download that, fill it out by hand, figure out how to scan it back in and get it back to them, email it, fax it, whatever it may be. And though that is a step in the right direction on the digital transformation journey, really orchestrating all of this and giving different options for wherever our customers may be at in this process. So taking this document here, gone ahead and gone through a couple of different methods. I know Kent had mentioned the OCR capabilities, so physical capture. As you notice here in the platform on the side rail, we have that capture icon here, as well as quite a few others. I'm just going to give a brief overview of what some of these are and then dive into that process. So Workspace is an end user working queue. That's where they can see what's available to them to actually view, interact with, approve documents, and so on. Reporting capabilities, cloud storage, and we do integrate with the major cloud storage providers. So as you're using those, it creates a universal search and storage method across the board. The intelligent physical capture, so that goes from whether you're scanning something in from the CPA mobile app and then also running through an OCR process, which I'll show you here in just a moment. The electronic form capabilities and having the ability to create those yourself as citizen automators and nice, easy drag and drop functionality. The digital signature tool, which can be a standalone tool, templatized, signature tool, or it can also interact seamlessly with this process to really streamline and orchestrate the automation that's taking place in the environment. The workflow builder, again, simple to use, no code. And then, different document templates and automation tasks. So I'm going to show you a document before the automation task kicks off here. I just barely uploaded a document here. And this is one that I had Kent fill out. as the medical record here. So again, meeting people on that digital transformation journey. If it still needs to get filled out physically, or maybe they're in the office and they just want to fill it out while they're right there, they can do that, requesting their medical records. And that is going to actually move out of this location here briefly and run through that OCR process. And so that's going to run, and here you can see it in my workspace. So scan that document in. It's now running through OCR, and now it's hit in my workspace queue. So me as the end user, this can get assigned to whoever it needs to review that document. And that OCR process, what it's doing is analyzing the document and pulling it out into the corresponding fields of data. So as everything is running through these different systems of record and record management, now we can actually run the automations on the document because it's not the flat information on the document itself, but we've been able to extract it, can run those automations. We can send that information out to those other systems of record for storage as well. So it's gone ahead and pulled that information. And now in the approval process, I can approve the release of this document or reject it. Another form of doing this to even further that digital transformation journey is through an electronic form. So here's one that I've gone ahead and built, again, easy drag and drop interface, and created this form. This can be publicly accessible, or it can be internal facing only, whatever the requirements are there. I've gone ahead and just filled out some of the fields just for sake of time, and I'll go ahead and fill out the rest of it. You'll notice some of these fields are dynamic, or you can change the formatting options. Go ahead and just put some sample data in here. And other dynamic features, in the drop downs, we can have different fields show up depending on what is selected. So you'll notice that won't be there if it's, a verbal disclosure, written or electronic, and so on. Put a few more items in here. And then under the here, again, you can have, different things pop out as needed, such as the other fields and so on. Checkbox fields, just kind of all the different use cases there. Again, showing different dynamic abilities here of the forms. You can also attach files. We can also have digital or electronic signature as part of the form where specified. In this particular use case, I've opted to utilize the email of the patient, and that's going to run through our digital signature tool. So once I hit submit here, we're going to jump over to the email box there of the patient that's submitting this form, requesting their records. And now I see I've gotten that email from Phasian Signature here, and we'll go ahead and review that signature document. And you can see it's mapped all that data over and superimposed it onto what was this document that was being used in the physical sense previously. And now I have the ability to sign this as the person filling this document out. So we'll go ahead and sign that. I'm also a patient representative. And you'll notice it assumed my signature after I typed it in the first time and gave the consent. We'll go ahead and hit complete and agree to that document. Once that goes through, because I am on the same machine here, I am going to need to re-log in. Go ahead and close this tab. Just come back to the administrative login here. Now, what's happened at that point is it's coming into that approval workflow. So at the very beginning, where I ran through the OCR capability with the document, that's running into the same workflow that this e-form is going to be in. You do have the ability to customize the view. So I'm just going to go ahead and change that being the admin, I have access to a lot of different workflows here, and I'm just going to change that to filter it out for us. And these views can be customized and set as default for different users. And you'll notice this custom view is applicable for the fields that we're seeing on the document. So I have a nice preview of who it is and what's there. So here's the one that Kent filled out physically, and then here's the one that was filled out digitally here. Go ahead and open that up, and we'll notice all the information is there again, and the signature has been put into place. Another cool feature, I'm going to go ahead and show this really quick. You can see everything that has taken place as this document's run through its course. Now I have that email address saved to a user known as Bill as an external user, so that's why you're seeing him in there as part of filling that document out. And then you also have the signature history here associated with the document. So tracking all along the way, and we'll capture the IP address of where that was signed from. I'll go and hit approve release, and these buttons can be fully customized to add signatures, have other fields that need to be filled in. So this is the internal portion. I'm going to go ahead and cancel just to show real quick the internal use of this document. And those are things that need to get filled out. So those were released today. And we'll just keep that simple and say that's released by Jane. And no comments here. So it will not let me submit that until I put that needed internal information in place. And now we saw that moved out of my queue. Retrieving these documents can also be done through the storage or through the search. So I have a search here specific to the medical record. And if I want to search on that same MRN, I can do that. And now it's pulling up. Looks like I had another document that had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as the MRN. So I'm seeing both those. And here is that document now. Again, we have that full history, and it was approved in the workflow and sent over to that storage location. So that full trackability and really starting to orchestrate this process and having all the information seamlessly moving across all the aspects of the organization. And with that, Kent, I'll hand it back over to you.
That's great. Thanks, Darian. As you can see, a big part of what we're building out is that ability to automate a lot of those flows and cross back and forth between. However, we don't want you to just take our word for it. Here's a brief word from one of our customers, Caregiver.
Hi, I'm John Beecham with Caregiver. I'm the Director of IT, and we're a company that serves individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities, otherwise known as IDD. It's a combination of different services that they may need help with, whether it's residential living, nursing. Our biggest goal is to allow them as much independence as possible. So we help to make that a reality.
Because I am in IT and I do stuff with our hardware, I do have to go on site to locations a lot, so I get to meet our individuals. And knowing that we're able to make that type of a difference and just seeing how happy they are and the resources that we are able to provide them, I can't really put it into words, to be honest, but there's just something about it that you feel good about.
With Vasion, we were trying to resolve some problems that we had in our accounts payable department. But as we got into the product and really realized the power, it quickly changed directions. And so we started doing a lot of electronic forms because of the electronic signature process. And that's where we've seen the most growth. If you can imagine, you have folks in the field that are filling out documentation that has to get to the corporate office. We've got to get papers filled out and signed to be able to get increases for the different services that an individual may need. It's a challenge to process the documentation and process it quickly. In instances where we need signatures from guardians via snail mail, that could take anywhere from a week to 2 weeks or more.
So this is our Consumer Fund Management Authorization Form. This really just allows our consumers to request additional funds for personal use. One of the great things that we had done here with Vasion is it really sped up the turnaround time in order to get those funds to our consumers a lot quicker.
We've been able to take this process that we've built with Vasion, and we could literally turn the form around in a couple of hours if need be. We're in 5 states currently, and Texas, Tennessee, Georgia, Indiana, and Ohio. And out of those states, we're in 63 offices. There's so much documentation that we have to adhere to because we go through audits annually to make sure we're providing the services for the individuals as state guidelines require.
Whenever they come in and they're asking for something specific, it's because they suspect that that data isn't being tracked or it's not placed somewhere properly.
Vasion's been very helpful in that arena because we're able to track a paper process start to finish. Anywhere it's held up in that process at all, we can find it very quickly. The other part of it is that we've got the documentation in our database.
You know, as soon as something's in there, it's completed and the workflow is approved, everybody has access to that now. Things can't get lost any longer. We have a way to track down that data, run reports, or get it to really anywhere we need to go.
We're wanting to take every form in this business and turn it electronic. We don't want to have to create a paper form of any fashion, and we're not going to. There's too much emergent technology that's available in our hands, and Vasion's just right there at the forefront of that. It's faster, it's more efficient, it reduces cost. There's so many values that you can add to it. There's just a lot of potential in Vasion, and the best part about Vasion is once the process is in place, it just works.
The reality is that as we've watched that video and Darian's walkthrough, we really are just at the tip of the iceberg, because as we've continued forward as a company, we've begun rolling out orchestrated automation, which is having an integration fabric, tying multiple of your disparate systems together. If you have iPads, we can integrate with that, click that in, and then work across systems and across even departments. So there's a lot more we're doing, and all of this, of course, will also lead to a future which is inclusive of like an autonomous automation, where AI can be playing a role in helping you work through and build out automation. We'd love to share more of this vision in a micro learning where we're trying to get in and out and leave some time for Q&A. We're not able to go super deep on it on any of these topics, but we would love to go deeper with you. We'd love to see you at any of our Vasion on the Road events. We have a couple more planned for this year, one in LA, one in DC, and we'll have several more next year. We'd love to host you at our EBC, as the video showed earlier, or as you reach out and contact your customer success manager or account executive. We'd always be happy to schedule time to talk through more of the vision, more of the capabilities, and more of what Vasion has to offer. And with that, I'll turn the time back over to Brock.
Thank you, Kent. And actually, I'm going to populate there's a QR code in case you're interested in learning more about the Executive Briefing Center. And we are going to go ahead and go into our Q&A session. We did get some questions. One was someone happened to join late, Kent, so they wanted to know, is this supposed to replace apps like Adobe or Foxit? So if you could give like an elevator pitch about what the purpose of Vasion Automate is.
Yeah, I see that Darian wrote an answer on that one as well.
Oh, good. Okay.
You know, I think that there's definitely some components here where we're playing in a similar space, and our vision is really bringing all of the tools you have together. So if you really like, for example, Adobe Sign, or if you have like a good platform you're using, what we look at here at Vasion is bringing all of those tools together and automating and orchestrating that automation, and bringing it to life in ways that are not dependent on heavy coding or, you know, your development teams. But we can create, you know, that there's the concept of a citizen developer, but we're really working to build on the concept of a citizen automator, where you don't have to have deep technical understanding to be able to build out an automation and a workflow that can even cross in and out of departments if necessary, or streamlined within a department just to improve efficiencies and drive that through. If Darren, I don't know if you have anything to add on that, but yeah, that's how I would respond or react to that question.
Yeah, fully agree with that.
All right. We have an anonymous question as well. Since Vasion Automate is SaaS native, will it work with a virtual appliance? Who wants to answer that?
Yeah, if you currently have our virtual appliance customer, which is, you know, taking our SaaS platform and hosting it yourself internally, What I just showed you with our Vasion Automate Pro suite, that can also be hosted internally where applicable, and can tie in with the virtual appliance. And the same for SaaS. If we're hosting and you're currently a SaaS customer, that can also we can take care of that hosting for you.
Okay. And Darian, I see that you were addressing one of our customers' questions about the ARM. I don't know if you wanted to answer that. I don't think it's related specifically to Vasion features, but
yeah, I understand that is support for our client agent on those specific processors. I don't have an exact answer for that, but I would just recommend reaching out to your customer success representative, as well as putting in a support ticket, and they can get those answers and roadmaps available to you.
yeah, and I'll also research this and have maybe the CSM reach out directly with more information for that. So, all right. Those are the questions that we have, and as we promised, we want to keep this under 30 minutes. So I just wanted to say thanks so much. If you have other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Your CSM will likely be reaching out to you just to get feedback and to make sure you don't have questions about what we covered today. If you're a prospective customer or partner and you have questions, we'll find a way to reach out to you as well, or you can reach out to your channel manager. And we'll make sure, of course, that you'll get a copy of the recording as well. That usually takes about 2 to 3 business days. So if you want to review this and share this with your leadership, please feel free to do so. And thanks for all of our co-hosts here, and also for Shannon and Ray, who are hiding in the background, making sure that we didn't have a huge major glitch. And also thanks to our friends at Caregiver for sharing their customer story with us. I hope you all have a fantastic week, and we look forward to seeing you in one of our next webinars. Have a good day.